On the last episode of the Evo X, we finally got some new wheels. We then replaced the headlights and taillights for a much cleaner look.
We're certainly making some progress on the Evo. It's getting a lot better, it's a lot more cleaned up, but we still have a long way to go to get this thing where I want it. These are all the parts that we're gonna put on the car in this episode. These all came from MA Performance, which is kind of the go-to place for Evo parts. They carry everything inside and out. Actually, the engine on this car came from MA Performance. It's an MA Performance short block. And now we're gonna put some of these parts on it. Some of this is gonna make the car lighter, some of it's gonna make the car faster, and some of it's gonna make the car cleaner. Most notably, the wing, which I'm very excited to put on there because the current wing on the car is quite nasty. It's got a lot of clear coat peel. So let's maybe start with the wing. Okay, so we got some wing risers, some wing mounts. We got some hardware and some plastic. So APR supplies some hardware here. This is some like mild steel, maybe stainless steel hardware to put the wing together, which is what's currently on there. But we have an upgrade. We have some dress-up bolts, titanium bolts. This is a hardware kit for, just kidding, there's nothing in this box, but we work with dress-up bolts, so I'm gonna go steal some off their shelf. So the bolts that come with the APR kit are made out of steel, and these are titanium, so we have even more weight savings, albeit probably like 1/4 of a pound, but it's something. They also look a little bit cleaner, so we'll put these in when we put the wing on, so we have our fresh carbon, so there's gonna be no clear coat peel in these, and we will have a nice shiny bolt. Dang, dude, look at that. That is legitimately way better than I was expecting. Not only is it obviously not peeling clear coat, it's a different color. Like the whole thing is like a lot cleaner looking. The other one's a lot more yellow. Nothing like carbon fiber in the morning. Whew. Well, I don't know about you, but I would say that is a massive improvement. I actually didn't expect this wing to look so different than this one. Obviously, like, I knew all the clear coat peel stuff would look a lot better, but the color of the carbon, this looks very yellow now that I actually like have it off the car next to the new carbon. It's incredible. This is like much deeper, darker. The clear coat it's got so much depth to it, and this is, well, this is fatigued. So yeah, maybe put this in the bin. No, not wrong channel. Okay. Next up is installing some skid plates on this car. It's not a rally car, obviously, kind of goes without saying, but there's also no protection under the car, and there's nothing to hold the bumper in place at the bottom, so as a result, it's a little floppy. So I want to put a skid plate under there to both keep the engine bay clean, keep dirt out of there, protect it from rocks, and give the bumper some more stability. And this skid plate here is made out of aluminum, so it is not very heavy. As you can tell, I'm lifting it up with ease, and I am very weak. So that's pretty good. This is made by SSP, purchased from MA Performance, naturally. It comes in 2 pieces, because that helps make it cheaper to ship, because as you can imagine, if this was all one piece, it'd be very expensive to ship because it's such a large item. So yeah, we gotta put the 2 halves together and then attach it to the car somehow. All right, we've got it up there. It is attached. It's 3 bolts in the back, 2 bolts on the side, but we've got a little problem here. The front is not attaching. And that would be because I have a Voltex lip on here, not a stock lip. So this underbrace was made for a stock lip, which I think comes back right around here, which would attach on the front edge. So my buddy Mark, who's got an Evo 10 and also has the same skid plate, has told me that I should be attaching it to the front subframe up here. So I'm just gonna run some bolts up under here, drill some holes, attach this up, and that'll hold that up there firm. Under tray is on. I feel pretty good about that. Oil pan is protected. Oil filter is protected. And it's got a little bit more of a slipstream under here, and it's gonna keep the engine bay a lot cleaner, which is nice. But now that I'm under the car here, I can see the brake rotors, and the brake rotors are super grooved, like hardcore. These are probably the original rotors for this car. So yeah, let's put some new brake rotors in this thing. I've got some rather special brake rotors for this car. In these 4 boxes are some of the most amazing brake rotors you will ever set your eyes on. These are Girodisc, I have no idea how they're pronounced, but they're a 2-piece brake rotor, which is much lighter than the single-piece brake rotor that's currently on the car. So we're gonna shave off even more weight off this car, and it's rotational mass and unsprung weight, so it's a double hitter. It's also a floating rotor, which means there's less pad knockback. I'm not necessarily gonna explain that in this video, but you can Google that if you wanna know what that is. But also, the rotors that are currently on the car are very pitted and grooved. There's a lot of divots in here, and it feels pretty thin, so they kinda need to be replaced anyway. So if you're gonna replace them, you might as well go all out, put these on. These are actually the same brake rotors that Ben has on the Time Attack Evo 9. Okay, we get the old rotor off. I'm curious how much this thing weighs. I think 25 pounds. Let's see, 23. Now, let's see. Honestly, it doesn't feel that much lighter because I'm pretty sure this is thicker for more heat dissipation, even though the top hat is aluminum. Let's see. Ooh, 20 and 15.6 ounces. So roughly 21. So 2 pounds off. Rotational mass, unsprung weight per corner. So that is 8 pounds total off of the car. I'll take it. 8 pounds where it counts the most. And also, they're functional. I'm gonna leave the same brake pads. I actually don't know what pads these are. I think they're Hawk HPS Streets. I have no idea, but they've got plenty of life left on them, and they have been performing quite adequately. Kind of a shame that these calipers aren't in great shape. They're actually starting to discolor a little bit as well as peel. I'd want to take them off to get them powder coated, but I don't have the time right now. So if I take these off, this car is gonna sit on the lift for a couple weeks, and we need the lift for other things. These rotors surprisingly didn't come with that like oil coating on it that most rotors normally have on it. So I didn't really need to clean them off, but I'm still gonna just kind of like shoot some brake cleaner over it just to make sure that they're clean. But I think we're good on the fronts. Now let's do the rear. Boy, this is heavier for sure. All right, we broke the scale back out because the rears, I think, are gonna have more of a weight difference. So the stock rotor, 18 pounds. So the rear obviously is lighter because the rear brakes are not gonna be as strong. So I'm gonna say 15 or 14 pounds, that's my guess. 14 pounds. So that's 4 pounds off the rear, and it was 2 pounds off the front. 12 pounds total. These are some brake rotors. right, brake rotors are on. I think they aesthetically look amazing, but they've also trimmed off 12 pounds from the car, which is significant in combination with removing the old wheels that are on there. We've shaved off like 60 pounds off of this car now, and that's rotational unsprung weight, which is super crucial. But we're not done shaving weight yet, because under here is the stock rear crash bar, and that weighs like 39 pounds or something. As far as a $1 per pound modification on the car, this is probably one of the best things that you can do. This bar weighs 6.2 pounds, and it's like 250 bucks or something like that. When I saw this on MA Performance's website, I knew I had to buy it because the factory bar weighs 33 pounds. So this is shaving off 26 pounds from the car for 250 bucks. There's not many other modifications that you can do to your car to shave that amount of weight for that dollar cost. This does still provide some structural support, so if I have any kind of rear ending, I should be okay. Probably not as much as the factory bar. I feel like I probably have like a liability to tell you that. It's probably one of those like off-road use only type things, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be pretty happy about this, shaving off this weight. So obviously we have to pull off this Voltex fiberglass over fender. I mean, we kind of have to anyway, because there's like a huge gap down here where the tape is starting to come off. I think it's just a 3M double-sided body tape on this. We have to redo this anyway. So, you know, it's not the end of the world that we have to rip this off to get the bumper off, to get the rear crash bar. It doesn't look that bad under there. We've brought in the big guns. This is Travis. Travis is our local stance boy. He works at Dress Up Bolts, our office mates here. He's got a stanced out Fiesta, so he's used to this kind of fiberglass wide body stuff, so I'm just gonna leave this to him. Okay, now that we have the rear bumper cover off, we can see the rear bumper, which is this piece here, and it goes all the way across here. It's actually integrated into the chassis pretty well. It's kind of hard to see, but looks like we got some bolts here to take off that side, and this side. And now for the next 4 hours, I will be pulling tape off of the Widebody little fenders here. I gotta take tape off of both of them. It'll probably take about 4 hours. While I continue peeling off the 3M tape off of this, Vinay is here because we're gonna do a black roof on this car. Vinay works at 2020 Tint and Films, so he's gonna lay down some black vinyl. What do you think?
I think the black vinyl is actually gonna emphasize the car a lot. I love how the carbon fiber trunk, carbon fiber hood, the roof will just make it all flow and blend really well.
Before Vinay gets started on the roof, he's gonna peel off the old carbon vinyl on the door pillars so we can wrap those with black as well.
So we went ahead and removed all the vinyl, the old vinyl that was on here as well. Since the adhesive from the carbon fibers was stuck to it, we want to make sure that we have a clean surface underneath to make sure when the gloss black goes on there, it's going to be nice and smooth and look like it came from factory.
Delano is also here from 2020 Tint and Films to start prepping the roof. Vinay and Delano were making great progress on the roof, but I was not. It's been a few hours and I'm still pulling off the 3M tape from these over fenders.
And this thing is held on with just 3M tape. It doesn't have any bolts, despite the little bolt hole spots, but I don't want to drill into the car, you know what I mean? All right, it is 7 hours later since I started peeling this stuff off. I'm not gonna lie, I had some help as well. Tevin and Travis helped me out get some of this 3M tape stuff off. So 3 people 7 hours with a lunch break. We finally gotten the tape off, and now I'm just gonna kind of scuff the surface up a little bit, then take an alcohol swab, just kind of make sure it's all perfectly clean. Put some 3M tape on. Hope I don't miss when I stick it on the car. Well, I think I should preface before I put this on that I am not a body shop guy by any means, as you probably saw in how long it took me to get this 3M tape off, but I've put 2 little pieces of tape here to help me line this up when I put this on. I mean, it can only go in one spot really, but I don't want to mess this up, so. Well, no going back now. I guess you could just peel it back off, but this was the part that was sticking out before now. Hopefully, oh yeah. That's a much better fit. Now we don't have that gap there.
I can't believe how good this Evo is coming out. It looks amazing with the new wing and the all-new black roof, and now it's even lighter and it's got some functioning brakes. But in the next episode, we've got even more stuff to do. We have got to fix the suspension setup on this thing so it properly handles.